Uber can be a great resource for people to get from one place to another. Good evening, I'm Henry Coburn.
And I'm Rachel Rhodes. But you should always use precaution when getting into a stranger's car.
Alanna Moore joins us now.
Alanna, a criminal may try to target riders and fool them. How do you play it safe?
You can always use the buddy system and make sure to check your rides before getting in them. Ride-sharing services can help cut down on impaired driving, but you also don't want to be too impaired as a passenger. I spoke to a police officer and a former Uber driver. Both say the best tool to stay safe is your brain. When it comes to ride-sharing safety, Gainesville police suggest extra caution if you're out late partying. It starts with marking your pickup location in a place with a lot of people.
Definitely no isolations, no dark alleys, no dark streets. Make sure that it's a very well-lit area.
Uber does do a basic background check on all their drivers. After booking, users can see a driver's photo, name, cell phone number, and their car's make, model, and tag number. When getting picked up by an Uber, you can always check their license plate to make sure it's your car. You can also ask for their name, and if you're still not sure, Uber provides a picture of your driver just to double check. However, they do not require drivers to put an Uber sticker on their windshields. Former Uber driver Pablo Casalemas says he drove for Uber almost 3 years and was never required to identify his car with a sticker.
When I first started, this was never an issue and nobody really felt safety concerns, but I think, as time went on, things started to happen.
Casalemas suggests to follow along as you're riding in the car.
Obviously, you would want to check maps and make sure that they're going in the right direction, right? And if they're going in the wrong direction, then you know something's wrong.
GPD's Gonzalez says if you start to feel unsafe, contact a friend and ask the Uber to pull over.
If they still charge you for the ride, it's better to lose the $5, the $4, whatever the ride would cost you, than to get in a car that you're not sure.
Police often advise you to share your ride-sharing plans with friends or family with a quick text before and after. And both Uber and Lyft give you the option to send live updates while on your ride. The bottom line, be cautious and stay alert.
Marion County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help to identify a thief who was caught on camera. A man broke into a home on Southeast 100th Street in Ocklawaha and stole a pair of Bose noise-canceling headphones. The robber was caught on video, which shows the man wearing a hat and blue gloves unplugging a television. If you have any information on who this man is, call Marion County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers of Marion County.
You know, Rachel, what happened to spring? This past weekend was warm and sunny, and now it's the exact opposite.
I know. Everyone I saw today had rain boots and umbrellas. Kyle Kipple joins us from the Weather Center with this spring weather that seems to be pulling an April Fool's prank on us.
Well, this rain is no joke. You're seeing it now on live radar. Most of it has already exited the Gainesville and Metro Gainesville-Ocala area, but still seeing a few sprinkles in interior Marion County, and a few sprinkles still possible for the remainder of the afternoon. Heaviest rain, though, already moving toward Daytona Beach, and the heaviest rain earlier today occurred near the I-10 corridor. Lake City picking up about 7/10 of an inch, Baker County 7/10, as well as just north of Fort White about 3/10 of an inch, half an inch in Union County. A little bit more rain down in the Gainesville and Ocala, about just a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. Taking a look at the rest of the night, though, temperatures will be staying cool just under the 60-degree mark, and a chance for drizzle and light showers is expected for the remainder of the day. Coming up, I'll have my full forecast coming up.
President Trump has announced a plan to cut off aid to 3 Central American countries and threatening to close off the southern border. NBC's Blaine Alexander has the latest.
Today, new orders from the Trump administration, reassigning hundreds of Customs and Border Patrol personnel to deal with the highest number of migrant border crossings in more than a decade, according to the agency.
I'm not playing games.
It follows a threat by President Trump to close the southern border this week unless Mexico does more to stop migrant crossings into the U.S. Experts say that could deal a huge blow to the U.S. economy.
Mexico is the 3rd largest trading partner for the U.S. after China and Canada. One of the biggest product categories specifically that the U.S. gets from Mexico, beer and wine and snack foods. If we get fewer of those or the prices go up, that's something that you could feel pretty soon.
The president tweeting Homeland Security is being so nice, but not for long, urging Congress to fix what he calls a major national emergency, something long disputed by Democrats.
This is an administration led obviously by the president that only knows how to use government to create chaos and to create problems instead of solving problems.
The president also announcing plans to cut off aid to 3 Central American countries, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras, the origin of many asylum-seeking families. Democrats say cutting aid is counterproductive, and even some Republicans not on board.
Look, I don't mind threats. Frankly, I think you have to get people's attention. But at the end of the day, do I think it's wise to rescind the aid? No, because I think that stabilizes those regimes to some degree.
Democrats say they will fight the president's plan in Congress. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
Later this week, the president will travel to California and Nevada, where he will be speaking to the Republican Jewish Coalition in Las Vegas.
The number of measles cases in 2019 is already the second greatest number of cases reported in the U.S. since the disease was eliminated in 2000. A total of 387 individual cases have been confirmed in 15 states so far this year. The CDC says one dose of measles vaccine, known as the MMR vaccine, is about 93% effective if you come in contact with the virus. Typical measles symptoms include high fever, rash, stuffy nose, and reddened eyes. And 20 people were evacuated from a massive warehouse fire in East Oakland. The building belongs to American Emperor Supply, a company that provides construction materials. Oakland police helped evacuate everyone safely from the first floor. There are no reported injuries, and it is unknown what caused the fire.
Mother's Pub and Grill on 39th Avenue will remain closed after a fire broke out over the weekend. Gainesville Fire Rescue responded to a fire call at the restaurant around 11:30 a.m. Within minutes of arriving, firefighters were able to put out the flames and says there were no injuries reported. Gainesville Fire Rescue has advised the restaurant to stay closed until the fire sprinklers are fixed. The Florida Highway Patrol is searching for a black pickup truck after a hit-and-run crash on Sunday. A couple was taken to Ocala Regional Medical Center after the incident, which happened at the intersection of Pine Road and Pine Trace in Ocala. According to witnesses, a black pickup traveling eastbound on Pine Trace ran through a stop sign and crashed into the couple's car. The pickup then fled the scene. Witnesses say the pickup may have been a Ford F-150 and had furniture in its bed. Anyone with information about the hit and run is asked to contact Florida Highway Patrol Officer Cody Ball.
Governor Ron DeSantis is reestablishing Florida's Office of Drug Control by creating a drug task force. The task force on drug abuse will look to combat the opioid epidemic. DeSantis appointed Attorney General Ashley Moody to chair the statewide task force. The drug office will look to work with state and federal officials to reduce opioid abuse. And Governor Ron DeSantis named the University of Florida doctor and professor as the state's next Surgeon General. Scott Rivkees will serve as the Surgeon General and Secretary of the Florida Department of Health. For the last 7 years, Rivkees has been chairman of the pediatrics at the University of Florida Medical School. Under the state constitution, Rivkees must be confirmed by the Senate but can serve up to 2 years without confirmation.
The city of Gainesville is making sure students stay occupied during their spring break. The city offers art and sports camps while school is out of session. Students from 1st to 8th grade are getting their hands dirty, finger painting, and doing other art-related projects at their Creative Expressions Art Camp. Participants will display their work in a little museum by the week's end. Gainesville's Recreation Supervisor Ben Dillard says the camp infuses a character counts curriculum into each lesson.
Even if it's an art lesson or some kind of sports activity, we kind of talk to the kids about what it means to themselves and their family to just kind of learn some life lessons as well as doing the activities.
The art and sports spring break camps run through April 5th. The city also offers similar programs during the summer months.
Coming up next on WUFT News First at 5, what to do if you come face to face with a venomous snake.
Plus, a man from Archer is after millions of dollars of cocaine, and it's all being featured on Netflix. We've got his story and more after the break.
Plus, rain's been bothering us today, but we'll be warming up this week. I'll have the full forecast coming up.